Hello, everybody. It is April 21st. It is Tuesday, and this is today's Panda Ponderings. And was with every day, I give you news that you might be interested in that is important for you to think about, and a piece of information for you to ponder within that news. So today, I want to continue on this talk about COVID-19. And yesterday, I had spoken about the potential antiviral medication, and so that is more of a medication when you've already been infected, and then the recovery for that. So that's different than what I want to talk to you about today. Today, I want to talk to you about vaccinations. So this is more like a preventative measure than it is, post infection. So there are a ton of vaccines that are being concurrently developed. And what you do need to know is that there's a diversity of the approaches, and that each one of those are still about a year or less away. Um, Now, that's considered light speed, because I'll tell you this: a typical vaccine development takes about 10 years. With Ebola, they fast tracked it, and it was 5 years. So what you're talking about right now is just super light speed to get it within a year or less. So, according to the journal Nature Reviews Drug Discovery, there are about 115 vaccine programs that are in development for SARS-CoV-2 right now. 78 of them are official programs, and at least five of them, are in clinical studies. That number will continue to rise rapidly in this next couple of weeks, if not days, even. A couple examples of the ones that are nearing clinical trials or in clinical trials is Moderna's mRNA 1273, which is an mRNA candidate. Inovio's INO 4800, which is the DNA plasmid model. Shenzhen's Genoimmune Medical Institute's LVSMENP-DC, which is a dendritic cell vaccine modified with lentivirus vectors to express viral proteins, and an artificial antigen presenting cell vaccine along the same lines. And last but not least is CanSino's 85-NCOV. This is a traditional protein fragment vaccine. So you're hearing all of these, and I'm not a scientist, so I don't have the ability to go through each and every one of them. But if you want more information on each one, the article, which is stated in the description below, the link is stated in the description below, the article does give you that information. So go ahead and check it out. But the bottom line is, which is the most safe and effective method? Well, when it comes to effectiveness, we don't know. We won't know. We won't know unless we dose a lot of people. And the human immune response system is complex, and it has a wide variation from person to person. And so rushing this process is going to take a vast amount of effort, and some steps are going to have to be done in a scale that's never been done before. If we want this to happen in a year or less, we're going to have to take some shortcuts, and that's where some of the dangers come into play. For example, with Moderna's mRNA 1273 vaccine, it's off to a blazing start. Why? Well, they skipped an entire process. They skipped seeing how well it works in animals. And this is a very unusual step, but it's partly one that they had to go through, because it's unclear which animal models would be the most informative for this vaccine. So they can't do that step. So they're moving forward without it. And now that brings us into a conversation about safety. Of course, effectiveness is important, but safety is just as important. And there needs to be a balance between effective and safe. And so right now, when we're dealing with targeting the human immune response, there are such large, gigantic downsides, because a runaway immune reaction can disable someone for life, or even in some small circumstances kill them. So there's an example that I can give. Rough estimate, The common flu vaccine might kill one out of every maybe 10 million recipients through a runaway immune reaction. But we still give it to millions of people. Why? Because it is clear that, excuse me, it is clear that it's possible for far more people to die if we don't. And another problem in the safety issue is logistics. So we're going to move into logistics, but that balance of effectiveness and safety is going to continue to be a part of the conversation. With logistics, the problem is scale up of manufacturing might be the biggest problem. Each method, whether it's live attenuated, inactivated, recombinant protein, nucleic acid vaccines, etc., they all involve completely different production methods and formulations. And so what many pharmaceuticals are doing right now is that they're scaling up production for various methods without the benefit of efficacy data coming in. So they can head this off at the pass. Is that dangerous? Yes. Is that what needs to be done? Probably. See, because the bottom line is this. What we're doing right now, it's as if we're on a tightrope going across the Grand Canyon. But not only are we walking across this, or not only are we going across this Grand Canyon on this tightrope, but we're running on the tightrope. And so this is is it dangerous? Yes. Is it necessary? Yes, as well. And the problem is this, and this is what I want you to ponder and think about. If these pharmaceutical companies have to scale up before they can get efficacy data, what happens to the factories that are dedicated to methods that have proven to be not effective? These companies aren't in the business of losing money, so how will this trickle down to us? Will this increase the cost of proven methods, proven effective and safe vaccinations so that these companies could pay for all these extra investments? Or even worse, will less effective methods be pushed through anyways in order to save some bottom line? By the way, I'm not saying that they have a choice to not scale production right now. In a situation where we're all stuck in between a rock and a hard place, there are ramifications to what's going on now that we all need to think about. And so that's something that I want you to ponder, because you need to understand this information. You need to be able to research it for yourself and think for yourself so that you can see what the ramifications are that's going to trickle down to you. Because here's the thing. It may happen, it may not happen. Whatever happens will happen with these companies. But the more informed you are, the better you're going to be. And so think about it. Think about how this will affect you and be prepared in whatever case necessary. I'll try to continue to give you updated information every single day and give you a piece of news that you might be interested in and something to think about. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow.